Welcome to another week of All About Cars, where we answer all your queries related to automobiles. But before we go ahead, make sure you like, share and subscribe to the Carwale channel. Alright, let's get to the questions now, and we begin with Facebook. Nadeem asks us, which is the best color for the new i20? Well, Nadeem, color is a very personal choice, so it depends on what you like and what you don't. But if you ask us, we reviewed the i20 in its fiery red shade, and the new i20 with its sleek, new, aggressive design looks very good in that color. So do go have a look, and if you like that color, I guess that's what we would recommend. Alright, our next question comes from Amin, and he wants to know what to choose between the Kia Sonet GTX Plus Turbo DCT versus the GTX Diesel Automatic. He stays in Bangalore, and he's going to use it mostly for city use. Drive will be less than 35 kilometers a day. He asks us, how will the maintenance differ considering both are turbocharged, and how stable is the Sonet at about 130 kilometers per hour on the highway. He also asks us, Volkswagen DSG had some issues in stop and go traffic, and do we think the DCT might face a similar problem? Well, answering your question, between both the variants, since your monthly running is about 1000 kilometers, we would suggest you go for the DCT petrol. And as far as any issues with the turbo is what you're asking, there are no issues with the diesel or the petrol. Coming to the next part of your question, whether the Kia Sonet is stable at over 130 kilometers an hour. Firstly, we'd like to tell you, please maintain speed limits and follow all safety rules. But talking about highway manners of the Kia Sonet, we didn't face any issue. It's as stable as possible. It's got all the electronics. So no, there are no issues with highway stability with regards to the Kia Sonet. As far as your query regarding the DSG problem, well, Kia did have a slight issue with the Seltos, with the DCT transmission overheating in very high traffic conditions. But there was a very simple solution for it. You just park on the side of the road and keep it in neutral, and it used to cool off, and you can just continue on your way. A simple solution to avoid this would be to put the car in neutral as much as possible whenever you're stuck in traffic. But other than that, we haven't heard of any issues, so I think you're safe with that choice. Our next question comes from Siddharth, and he's looking for a spacious manual transmission petrol car. His budget is up to 9 lakhs, and he's confused between the Nissan Magnite, the Honda Amaze and the Hyundai Aura. He also wants a car with a good rear view camera. Now Siddharth, answering your question, between these three cars, as far as space is concerned, the Honda Amaze is the most spacious car. But if you're looking at a car with more ground clearance, which can tackle bad roads better, the Nissan Magnite would do that better. But if space is your priority, the Honda Amaze should be perfect for you. Also, rear view cameras are now standard on almost all cars in the top end variant. So even if you buy the Honda Amaze or either of the cars you mentioned, you will get a decent rear view camera. Our next question comes from Sumit, and he wants to know whether when the Hector facelift will launch. Well, Sumit, to answer your question, the Hector facelift model have already been spied in MG stockyards, and our prediction about when it comes out into the market will be any time in the first quarter of 2021. Our next question comes from Ram Kumar, and he says he's a beginner to driving, and he's planning to buy a new car next month, and he had the following cars in mind, and these are his priorities. He's going to be using it for daily commute. It should be fuel efficient, it should be value for money, maintenance should be less, and cost effective. And his options include the i20 Petrol Sports or Asta variant, the Skoda Rapid Ambition or Onyx variant, the Ford Figo Freestyle, and the EcoSport Titanium Diesel. To answer your question, Ram Kumar, we would advise choosing between the new Hyundai i20 or the Ford EcoSport Diesel. The new i20 is a very fresh design. It's got a lot of features which makes it very good value for money. So do go have a look and see how it fits your needs. The other option, like I said, we would recommend the Ford EcoSport Diesel. It's a tried and tested vehicle. It's got decent number of features, it drives well, it's also very economical being a diesel. So that's the next best option we would suggest. The Figo or the Freestyle is a little dated, so we wouldn't recommend that over the EcoSport. Also, the Skoda Rapid gets a little low score when it comes to maintenance. So we would suggest choose between the new i20 and the Ford EcoSport Diesel. Our next question comes from Rajat, and he says that he's a university student. He plans to buy a new car and his maximum budget is 8.5 lakhs. He's looking for good overall features, durability, good fuel consumption, and he wants us to tell him which is a better car between the Altroz XE, the i20 Sports or the Nexon XMS. To answer your question, Rajat, let's get to the Nexon XMS first. The Nexon XMS variant on road is about 9.5 lakhs. That looks like a little out of budget for you, but you do get the Nexon XE variant, but again that's a base variant, so it'll barely have any features. Compared to the other two cars, you have the Tata Altroz and the Hyundai i20. Now both of these are very good cars, both of them are very spacious, good on features, and of course look very good. Coming to your part about maintenance, good fuel efficiency, again both are on par there. But as far as fuel efficiency is concerned, the Nexon, should you decide to go ahead with it, will be a little low on fuel efficiency as compared to both the hatchbacks. That's thanks to the extra weight that it lugs around. But between the Altroz, the Tata Altroz and the Hyundai i20, both are very good cars. We advise to go test drive them and make a viable choice. Our next question comes from Nitish, and he says that he's planning to buy a new car with a budget of 8 to 9 lakhs, and he's considering base models of compact SUVs like the Maruti Suzuki Brezza, the Kia Sonet and the Hyundai Venue, and he wants to know which is the best choice. So Nitish, coming to your question, first up, the Maruti Suzuki Brezza makes for a better choice when it comes to base variants, simply because it gets a 1.5 litre petrol engine as against the other two which get a 1.2 litre engine. Also, the Maruti Suzuki Brezza gets a few more features like all 4 power windows, a comprehensive instrument cluster, a music system and more. So between these three, if you're looking at base variants, we would suggest the Maruti Suzuki Brezza. Our next question comes from Haswant, and he wants to know if the Kia Seltos 1.4 GDI GT line is a good buy or not. Well, answering your question, Haswant, the Kia Seltos is an acclaimed product. We've driven it extensively, and the GDI engine is an absolute masterclass. It's got decent fuel efficiency, it's very powerful and it's very refined as well. And the Seltos also gets plenty of features, it's comfortable and it's great to drive. So answering your question in simple words, yes, the Kia Seltos GDI GT line makes for a good buy. Our next question comes from Aaron, and he's confused between three 12 lakh rupee cars. His options include the Hyundai Creta E diesel variant, but he's concerned about the build quality with the Creta. His second option is the Ford EcoSport Titanium diesel, but he's concerned about the rear space with the EcoSport. And his final option is the Nexon XE diesel, but he's concerned about the NVH levels of the diesel and interior quality. Well, answering your question, Aaron, between these three cars, the Creta is a segment higher. So should you decide to go for the Creta, you get a car of a higher segment, but you do have to compromise on features because this is a base variant as compared to the other two cars which are the top end variants. But like I mentioned before, you do get a car of a higher segment. Now between the EcoSport and the Nexon, yes, the EcoSport does feel a little cramped at the rear, but apart from that, it drives well, it's got good number of features, it's low on maintenance and it's fuel efficient as well. The Nexon, as far as the NVH levels are concerned, we had no problems with the NVH levels, and the current crop of Tata cars, the interior quality have also gone up, so again no issues there. Even with the Creta, you're concerned about the build quality. We don't think there's an issue with the build quality, we think it's made well. So between these three cars, if you want a car in a higher segment but you're ready to compromise on features, go for the Hyundai Creta. And again, if you want a good balance of everything, go for the Tata Nexon. Our next question comes from Neville, and he asks us which automatic transmission is the best for diesel engines. Answering your question, Neville, for most engines, be it petrol or diesel, twin clutch transmissions are the best, because not only do they reduce shift time, they're quick on performance, they also make the engine very frugal. So again, twin clutch gearboxes are the best for petrol or diesel engines. But to keep costs in check, most manufacturers come out with torque converters, and again, those aren't too bad, but giving you the best performance in fuel efficiency, it has to be twin clutch transmissions. We now move on to our Instagram questions, and Vishnu Patil asks us, 12 लाख में कौन सी कॉम्पैक्ट एसयूवी लेनी चाहिए? विष्णु जी, आपको हम रेकमेंड करेंगे या तो किया सोनेट या फिर Hyundai Venue। दोनों ही बहुत बढ़िया गाड़ियां हैं और दोनों में काफ़ी फीचर्स हैं, दोनों में परफॉर्मेंस काफ़ी अच्छी है, फ्यूल एफिशिएंट गाड़ियां हैं। तो हम रेकमेंड करेंगे कि आप दोनों गाड़ी चलाएं और टेस्ट ड्राइव लेने के बाद आप अपना डिसीजन लें। Our next question comes from Arun Chaudhary, and he wants to know the launch date of the facelifted Toyota Fortuner. So Arun, the new facelifted Toyota Fortuner will be launched on 6th January 2021, and you can check out the upcoming launch story on the Carvale website. Our next question is from Kapil Jain, and he wants to know whether he should wait for the new Fortuner or go with the Ford Endeavour. So Kapil, to answer your question, the new Toyota Fortuner, the facelifted one, the launch is just around the corner. It's on 6th January, like we mentioned before. So wait for the new Fortuner, have a look, drive the car, see what you like, what you don't like, and then you can make a call between the new Fortuner or the Ford Endeavour. Our next question comes from Ross Trav, and he wants to know whether he should wait for Maruti's new SUV or go for the Venue, Sonet or the Nexon. Answering your question, Ross, the Maruti Suzuki Brezza was just recently facelifted, so we don't expect a whole new Brezza coming in anytime soon. So if you like the new Brezza, you can just go ahead and buy the new Brezza, or you can choose between the Sonet, Venue or the Nexon. Our next question comes from Zishan Dar, and he wants to know whether Tata will provide a Nexon tuned engine for the Tata Altroz anytime in the future. Also, he says that he doesn't want to rush into buying a car and whether he should wait or not. So Zishan, answering your question, there's not too much difference between the horsepower of the Tata Altroz diesel or the Nexon diesel. The Altroz makes 90 bhp, whereas the Nexon is 110 bhp. But we don't think Tata will provide the Nexon tuned engine in the Altroz. But if you're interested in buying a petrol, the Tata Altroz will be coming with the 1-liter turbo engine, and we expect the launch to be in January. So if you want more horsepower, if you want a more fun to drive Altroz, that should be the one to wait for. Our next question comes from username RMK_RO, and he says that he has a budget of 16 lakhs and he's looking for a car that will do well with city commutes, office commutes, highway runs, and do well on village roads as well. He's not sure which kind of body style suits his need well, and he says that the car is going to be used by 3 people, himself and his parents, and the car should be helpful for senior citizens. What is clear is the SUV body style suits your needs the best. You can choose between the Tata Nexon or the Kia Sonet or the Hyundai Venue, and for your budget you'll get top-end variants of these cars. But if you want to go for a segment higher, you can also choose between the Hyundai Creta or the Kia Seltos, and you'll get mid variants of both these cars. Now, keeping your ride quality parameter ahead, we think the Hyundai Creta has the best ride quality. It's the most comfortable car, so it should do your commutes well too and handle bad sections, the village roads very well too. So if you like the Creta, we would suggest you go for the Hyundai Creta, and it meets your requirements perfectly. We now move on to our YouTube questions. Thank you so much for putting in your questions, and do keep the questions coming in so we can help you with your decision. Our first question comes from Bala S, and he says that he's thinking of buying a car, manual or automatic, for 10 lakhs on road. He wants us to suggest 2 or 3 options of cars with different transmissions, with good mileage, low maintenance costs, space for 5 people, features, reliability, spares availability. He says he travels mostly in the cities and he also goes for a few long drives. So Bala, if space is your priority, we would suggest looking at a premium hatchback or an entry-level sedan segment. So you can either choose between the Maruti Suzuki Baleno or the new Hyundai i20. In the entry-level sedan segment, you can also look at the Maruti Suzuki Dzire or the Honda Amaze. But if you're looking at if you're looking at the SUV segment, you can take a look at the Tata Nexon base variant, which would be around 10 lakhs, or the new Nissan Magnite. We've driven the car extensively. You can take a look at the reviews and take a decision. But you have these 3 options to choose from. So have a look at all the 3 cars in different segments and take your call. Our next question comes from Abdul Ahad, and he says that he's a petrol head. He likes to take corners, but his issue is that his mom doesn't, and she prefers comfort, easy ingress egress. He's pushed to get an SUV, but because he loves to drive, he wants to know if the Tiguan Allspace is a better choice over other full-size SUVs. We've driven the Tiguan Allspace extensively, and we love how the Tiguan handles. It's very dynamically able, and if you love to drive, the Tiguan impresses. It impressed every one of us actually. What also helps the Tiguan is that it's a monocoque chassis as compared to the others, which are ladder on frame. So while the others have a slightly better ride quality as compared to the Tiguan, but the Tiguan has better dynamics. So it's great fun to drive. It also gets a lot of features, and it's got a very potent engine. So if you like to drive, we would definitely recommend the Tiguan Allspace. Our next question comes from Jay Stanley, and he wants to know when the Swift will get the 90 bhp engine. He's confused between the Swift and the Magnite, and he feels that the Swift is more value and it brings more value for money on the table. He's looking for a fully loaded manual car, and most of his drive is going to be in the city. So Jay, we think you're talking about the dual jet engine that you already see in the Maruti Suzuki Baleno and the Maruti Suzuki Dzire. Now Maruti have been talking about putting that same engine in the Maruti Suzuki Swift, but there haven't been any recent updates. We also think that putting that engine in the Swift will increase the price, which would mar its value for money factor. So in case you want that 90 bhp engine, you can either buy the Maruti Suzuki Baleno or the Maruti Suzuki Dzire. Both will suit your needs just fine. As far as the Nissan Magnite is concerned, the 1 liter turbo is again a very potent engine. We'd suggest you drive that car, have a feel of it, and if you think that the Magnite's performance is what you need, both make for very good options. Our next question comes from Siva Shankar, and he's a first-time car buyer, and he's thinking of choosing between the Volkswagen Polo and the Honda Jazz. He wants to know which is more apt for city driving conditions. Siva, between both these cars, we think the Jazz is a more practical choice. It has more space, it's good on fuel efficiency, it's got plenty of features, and importantly, it's a more practical car. So between these two, we would definitely recommend the Honda Jazz. Our next question comes from Joel, and he wants to know which car he should consider between the Innova Krista or the Kia Carnival. He says that he knows that the price segment is different, but he wants space, and he uses the car in the city for about 40% and 60% on the highways. So Joel, if space is your priority, the Kia Carnival is definitely a bigger car. It has more space, and it can accommodate a lot more people in much more comfort as compared to the Innova Krista. But being a bigger car, it's also a little difficult to manage in city conditions. So if you want a car that's more manageable in the city and at the same time carry 7 people, the Innova Krista is a better choice. But if that is not an issue with you and you want space as your main priority, we think the Kia Carnival is a better choice. It also has a more powerful engine which is better suited for the highways as compared to the Toyota Innova Crista. That's it for this week's All About Cars. Do make sure you send in your questions on all our social media platforms so that we can help you make your decision about buying your next car. And do make sure you share, like and subscribe to the Carwale channel.